Hey guys, Jedi Guy here. Just finished just about the biggest commission I've ever taken on. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to thank the family who commissioned me. Thank you for placing your trust in my services. I hope they are to your liking. And I should also thank, I think it's Stardust Inspirante. I'll leave a link in the description to their Etsy page. They managed to help me with a 3D printed chassis for the 3 different hilts that I was working on. I'm going to get right to it and try to keep my disappointment in Ultrasabers to a minimum. So, first up was the easiest out of all 3. This is it's a Dominix limited edition version 5. I can tell it's a version 5 because of the claws. The Dominix doesn't have those, as well as the spiked pommel. It's a limited edition because it's two-tone, so there's black and white, or there's silver and gold. That's how you know it's limited edition, according to Ultrasabers. And basically, the ultimate issue that they had with 2 out of the 3 hilts, and I thought they might as well upgrade the 3rd one while they're at it, is, I think I still have them. Yeah, right over here. They had these AAA battery packs. I noticed, actually, while I was taking these apart, that the 3rd one broke as I was sliding it out with minimal energy. So it's a good thing you got it upgraded, because it was going to break in a day or 2 anyway. So, of course, hearing that, you know what we do with these, right? That's right. Moving on. So I went ahead and decided to tell them what I use in my lightsaber hilts. I don't have any on me at the moment. They're 3D printed chassis from Shapeways, Goth 3 Designs specifically, but they didn't want to use those, so they found another alternative chassis maker. I checked him out, talked with him, and he made 3 beautifully made chassis that I thought would fit, because I have another hilt. Just a moment. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so I got this hilt. This is my lightsaber hilt, and it's a Dark Initiate version 2. This is the hilt that I started out with. That continually broke because of those battery packs that I just tossed aside. I used the internal diameter of it to determine what the chassis size and shape should be, and I thought that with this hilt, because it's basically the same thing, just a lot longer, I thought that all of this would be the same internal diameter. Thank God I went to double check, because it ends right about here, and then it becomes even smaller than 1 inch. I thought it was 1 inch in internal diameter, but it turns out that it's even smaller than that. So the original chassis that we ordered wouldn't fit these, but it would fit this perfectly. So I had to talk with him about a chassis that was even smaller at a certain point for these lightsabers specifically. But we'll get into those in a little bit. First up is the Dominix limited edition version 5 hilt. That went smoothly, or almost. As you can see here, there's an anti-vandal switch, but it came with a black one. The problem that I faced was that this, while I was pulling it out, because Ultrasabers likes to use super glue to solve all their problems, it just pops right off. This is not supposed to happen. This was really not a thing that was supposed to happen. This was made of, I think, aluminum, and it just snapped at a certain point and came right off. It still functions, but I would not trust this. So thankfully, I had a spare silver switch, and as you can see, works just fine. So I asked the customer if they were okay with a silver switch instead of a black one, and they said they actually like the silver one better. So thank the Force that this was the case. So it's a standard Stunt setup. It's something to hold the battery, a switch, and an LED. That's it. No sound, nothing like that, so nothing too complicated. So we unscrew the pommel, slide this out, And here is your 18650 lithium-ion battery, and in case the sticker ever gets damaged or peeled off or something, I'm going to pull it up to the camera so that you can just consult this video whenever you need to. If it would focus. Okay, well I'll send you a photo if you ever need that information. It should be as simple as sliding it out to pop out the battery, just like that. And when you need it to work, just pop it back in. Slide that in, and screw it on, righty tighty. There's the sliding motion is the LED that's in there. So, but that's not going to be an issue once you put the blade in, because the blade will actually push it up against the switch. Don't push it too much, or it might bend and snap the wires, or even damage the switch. All you need to do is put enough pressure so that the jiggling goes away. But the jiggling isn't like anything dangerous as far as I can tell. It's just annoying. But once you put a blade in, it solves the problem fairly simply. So they actually wanted specific colors for the hilt, so I made sure to order a red one for this hilt. I believe this one was green that they specifically requested, and for the silver version they wanted gray. I could have those mixed up. You'll see later on during the video. But as you can see here, lightsaber works just fine. I'm going to take this out and duel with it in the backyard to make sure that nothing like breaks or easily comes apart. If you throw it against a car, I can't guarantee that it's not going to come apart, but I don't think you're going to be using them for that, so I think you'll be fine. But I don't want to give you a lightsaber intended for dueling if it can't be dueled with. So that's pretty much it for this one. Standard red chassis with an 18650 lithium-ion battery, switch, and an LED. I did not glue the switch back in place, but because it's not really pressure fitted, I was faced with a conundrum, and I was trying to fiddle around with the nut. Yeah, here, this nut that comes with the anti-vandal switches. I was fiddling around with that, and as I was swinging it around, it came loose, and I got frustrated, and then I remembered that you can actually pretend this isn't broken. You can actually take electrical tape and make a single wraparound, and that actually creates enough of a pressure fit for the lightsaber hole, so you can actually like push it as far in as it'll go, and the electrical tape will serve as a pressure. So this should never come loose unless you really want it to. So that's it for this one. Pretty simple. No real backstory for it. This, on the other hand, thank God that these switches didn't break, by the way. They have a habit of breaking during construction. Thank God they didn't this time. So I believe this one is violet? Yeah, violet amethyst. Again, stunt setup, chassis, switch, LED. Simple. But this one is a little more complicated. So, because Ultrasabers is as inconsistent as they are, yeah, to get this out, you actually need to slide it out a little bit with your palm. Don't shoot it out or you'll snap the cables. So be very careful when you're taking it out. And you're also going to have to be careful when you're putting it back in. I tried using glue to keep... All right, bit of a background information here. All right, so here was the original chassis that we were going to use. And it didn't end up fitting properly, so we needed a new version. And the guy who made the chassis said that there was not enough room for the wires to fit inside the chassis, which means he had to make a little channel for them so that they could fit properly. Now, the problem with that is that if you look, if you can see, yeah, you should, the light catches a little ring around partway up the hilt. That, if the wires catch on that, it might strip them. And then you're exposing the wires to the aluminum, and you might short circuit the battery. And we don't want that. So you got to be careful taking it out and putting it in. So I advise taking out the LED. It's not held in place by anything, and you should be able to just take it out and then pull it out as far as it'll go without tugging on it too hard, and then let the chassis slide in. If you feel any resistance whatsoever, if you feel like it's caught or stuck on something, push it back out, slide it back in until it goes that far. We literally have no more room. It's right like up around here. So there was no more room to work with regarding the battery, and this is just enough for the pommel to sit flush. So there is no room for it to move whatsoever. So with that, once you screw it back in, you just push the LED back down. And you just take that instruction with you when it comes to the silver hilt. You just be very careful with the wires. Just make sure they don't catch. If the wire cord that I... Oh, come on. There we go. If the wire cord that I glued in place comes loose, just like push it back a little bit. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to function enough so that you slide it in and it fits like that. After that, you should be golden. From there, take this. Boom. Now, just a moment. Sorry about that. Cell phone battery dying and whatnot. So, here we are. Violet amethyst, purple. Should be fine to work with. And now finally we have the one that, interestingly enough, this one I think was the most difficult to work with, just because the resistor for it would fit down here, and I know it would get caught, so I had to cut that and move it further up closer to the LED. And it was the first time that I really had to fiddle with these chassis and the wire length between the positive, which goes to the switch first, and the negative that goes straight to the LED. It was really frustrating, and I eventually got it, obviously, and no big deal. I love a challenge. And then this one just went in smooth, no issue whatsoever. Another green one. For this one, I believe it's the gray, silver-ish chassis. Same kind of concept as before. Okay, this one doesn't want to come out for some reason. I wonder why that is. Okay. Alright, what's the issue? Ah, there we go. Okay, so if that ever happens to you, so if for some reason it just doesn't want to come out, slide the LED out first, and then pull this out. There's enough wire for them both to be out at the exact same time. And as you can see, it turns on just fine. So you have enough wire to work with, but don't let it hang like this for too long. Just pop the battery out when you need to charge it, and then when you're done with it, slide the LED out, pull it out a little bit, which would pull this chassis in. No pressure whatsoever, and it'll fit just beautifully. And then you coil the wires up like that, and then slide them in, or hang on. Stretch them out, slide them back in, and they'll coil up on their own. And again, to prove that it works, boom. You didn't give me any retention screws, so I can't like put a blade in to properly show you how to duel with it. I'll add a clip here when we test the hilts. We're not gonna like slam the hilts against anything. We just put duel-worthy blades inside the lightsabers, and we duel with them to make sure that the wires don't break while you're hitting blades against blades, because sometimes the shock can do weird things to lightsabers. So we're going to test that out. I'll have a couple of clips here for you. and then I'll upload this video and I'll get these delivered to you probably tonight. Thank you very much for your faith and trust in me. Anybody who wants custom chassis for your lightsaber needs, check the link down in the description for Stardust Inspirante. I think that's how you pronounce it. Just let the guy know that Jedi Guy sent you, and yeah, good prices, good shipping, excellent customer service. I look forward to more future endeavors with you and your chassis creations. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and enjoy the following lightsaber clips. And to the family who trusted me with their lightsabers, I hope you enjoy these for years to come. And I hope I never have to see these back on my desks again, because that means I did the job right the first time. All right. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful evening, weekend, whenever you're watching this. And yeah, may the Force guide you all. Pandemic's almost over. We're all in this together. See you guys.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, we're all good.
Right?
Yeah. Alright, test complete. These appear to work, no issues whatsoever. Hope you guys enjoy the hilts. And I hope the next time I see them on my desk, if ever at all, is for an upgrade instead of a repair. Have a great day. May the Force guide you all.